Like he was saying, you both are playing two characters in two different eras, and you have put in a lot of work behind it, 3 years. What was the preparation like to meet the vision that he had? Uh, I know you went through a lot of training and you injured yourself as well a couple of times. That is the physical aspect of it, and also preparing for the emotional aspect of the role.
The injuries were actually on set while filming, um, not during the preparation. The preparation itself was very long, very hard. One had to be very patient, had to persevere a lot. Had to constantly wake up every morning believing in themselves to that this is going to be achievable at the end of it, and keep thinking of the end goal. I think and also keep taking it each day at a time. So there was a lot of riding, there was a lot of archery, then there was mounted archery, then there was polo, uh, there was riding a bike, then there was riding a bike on sand, then there was riding a bike on sand double, which is very different, and riding on your own. Um, and I think all of these physical things also really helped emotionally, which is something people don't realize. They think it's kind of like a parallel thing, but it's actually a simultaneous thing. A lot of the emotion comes from the physical, the work that you put in. Eventually, when you think of that's sometimes enough to get you going, So,
Like Harsh said, and like you said, I mean, there is no substitute to hard work. Everyone works hard, so it's not like a big deal that, every film, everyone puts in a lot of effort. So we both had to learn how to horse ride. I had to learn how to ride the bike. So I found it very exciting that I got to do these things. Physically, sir wanted both of us also to look a little different for both our characters. So that a little effort went into that. But I feel that the emotional journey of both the characters, it was extremely demanding. So to emotionally become Suchi and then emotionally become Sahiban, that I feel was extremely challenging. Every actor, I think, has his own way of getting into character or, approaching a scene in a particular way. So Harsh's methods not necessarily are my methods. So Harsh was somebody who was like he's a complete method actor. So he wanted to live like Adil. He used to be live in his room. He's not come out of his room and things like that. For me personally, I like writing, so I used to write a lot of stuff as Suchi, and I hope all this translates on screen. We've put the efforts in. We just hope that we've been able to live up to the vision of Rakeysh sir and Gulzar Sahib.
I also think talking about this whole method thing, I think you're not trying to do it to convince other people. Like you're trying to do it to convince yourself. So I'm not unnecessarily going to do something if it makes me exhausted and then I'm not going to be able to deliver on the day. Just because then people will talk about that I did something. You have to do just enough, whatever works for you. But then the idea is to always maintain your energy and look presentable and look good on the day of shoot as well. So for example, you can sleep probably on the real location, or you can sleep in your room. That sleeping in your room will make sure that it'll make you feel better the next day. You'll have more energy. So I feel that's unnecessary. So there's kind of a fine line. I think there are things you do within your kind of limitations that make you feel closer to the character. But it's also very important to balance that with your real life. So you don't completely exhaust yourself before the process even starts, because then you get into the logistics of filming, and then there are the own set of challenges that kind of come with that. So you have to kind of leave a lot in the tank for that as well, which is why you need time, right? Because if you're trying to squeeze everything into 1 month and 2 months and then trying to go 16, 17, 18 hours a day on it, then your work is eventually going to suffer, and so luckily, because of the way Mehra works, we had that luxury, so we could really go all the way with it. Sometimes you may have to deliver in a short space of time, just because maybe the that film requires that, or you don't have that kind of liberty, so you adapt to situations, so yeah.